Now at 10, a single semi-crash leaves 2 people injured. We'll have the details. Plus, the McDonald County School District trains its teachers ahead of the new semester. And it's rivalry night for PSU and MSSU, and they hit the court. We'll have the highlights in sports.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Severe weather made its way across the 4 states today. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Carrie Worthen. Chloe Aurora joins us with the first look at the weather.
Yeah, so we saw some severe weather earlier this afternoon into this evening, and thankfully the severe threat has subsided pretty much. We do have some rainfall, though, in the viewing area pushing off to the east right now. Taking a wider look, you can see more widespread rainfall further east, even in the St. Louis area, and even up further northwest, we have some snowfall associated with the system, so pretty large for right now. So coming up, we're going to talk about a few things. First off, we're going to talk about how much longer we'll see this severe weather and how much longer we'll see any precipitation in general. We'll also talk about a cold front coming up tonight into tomorrow, which will cool us down a little bit, followed by possibly some freezing temps ahead. I'll talk all about that here in just a bit.
Police in Ottawa County, Oklahoma responded this afternoon to a single car crash involving a semi on County Road 150. They say 43-year-old Scott Himmeris was driving too fast while the roads were wet. The semi truck then turned left and fell to its side. Himmeris suffered minor lacerations on his arms, but a 9-year-old girl was pinned to the passenger seat and suffered head injuries. The child was taken to a hospital, but no word on the severity of the injuries. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma received a call about a possible explosion device in Fairland. It was located at 16869 South 125 Road. According to Ottawa County Sheriff, it was not an explosive device. They are still trying to figure out where the materials in the case came from. They say there is no ignition source and there was no damage. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol took possession of the items. A local school district is making sure its teachers are prepared for the upcoming semester. KOAM Shagun Dudley was at McDonald County and has more.
As students of McDonald County prepare to come back to school, McDonald County teachers and staffs kick off the new year with a 2-day training.
We are kicking off the new year with some professional development. We have some new programs, some new curriculum resources that are being offered, and we want to make sure that our teachers have all the resources they need to help our students be successful in the classroom.
With the new semester comes a new curriculum, one which will help students be more proficient in reading.
And then we're implementing a new Reading Horizons program, which focuses on phonics and phonemic awareness for our K-5 students, and teachers are getting some training in how to approach that in the classroom to help our students who struggle to read.
School teachers say in order to ensure success for both students and teachers in the new upcoming semester, trainings like this are key and vital.
A lot of what we do today is look at the curriculum that we have in place, see if there's any updates that we need to make, curate materials, and then also a big priority for us going into this semester and of course into the next school year is making sure that we have a common way of putting our information together so that can also be available to the public as needed.
Well, I think as a community we're very large, and so professional development is important for all of us to be able to link arms and join together and provide the best we can for our students. This particular training is very welcomed as a district as a whole. We want to equip ourselves as best as possible to be able to teach our students the fundamentals of reading, and this is a great program.
Reporting in McDonald County and welcoming you to a new year. Shagun Mamdele, KOAM News.
McDonald County students go back to class on Wednesday. The McDonald County School District announced the appointment of the new superintendent. Dr. Eric Finley has more than 25 years of experience in education in a variety of roles ranging from teaching to coaching in several mid-Missouri schools. Finley replaced Dr. Mark Stanton, who has served as superintendent at McDonald County Schools for 13 years. Dr. Finley begins his tenure as McDonald County School Superintendent on July 1st of this year. Coming up, new year, new session of Congress. We'll take a look at how Congress is preparing for its first session of the new year. Plus, Elon Musk loses a fortune, but how big is it exactly? We'll break it down. The NFL says Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is in critical condition at a hospital after collapsing on the field. Hamlin was administered CPR on the field and taken away in an ambulance. He was taken to UC Medical Center sometime around 9:25 Eastern Time. According to one of Damar Hamlin's best friends, his vitals are now back to normal. Buffalo's games against the Cincinnati Bengals was suspended for the night. California Republican Kevin McCarthy is hoping to become the next House Speaker when the new Congress convenes tomorrow. But with the GOP holding just a slim majority over Democrats, McCarthy's path to victory is still very much up in the air. Reporter Nicole D'Angelo is in Washington with details on what we can expect tomorrow.
Several Republican lawmakers are pledging not to vote for Representative Kevin McCarthy as the next House Speaker, ensuring some drama on the floor when the votes are cast on Tuesday.
He's part of the problem. He's not part of the solution.
Virginia Congressman Bob Good told Fox News that McCarthy hasn't done enough to earn his support, and he teased a surprise candidate will come in the second round of voting.
We shouldn't be in a hurry to make a bad decision. It's worth it to fight for a few hours or even a few days to get the best possible person for Speaker instead of just surrendering to the status quo.
Good did not say who it would be. McCarthy tried to win support by cutting deals with the conservative wing of the GOP. He agreed to rule changes, including the ability of any 5 members of the majority party to initiate a vote to remove the Speaker. He also promised to establish select committees to investigate President Biden's COVID and border policies, and to reviews of the FBI and DOJ's investigations into former President Trump and the January 6th riots. On Monday, he ignored questions about more possible concessions.
I hope you all have a very nice week.
The Speaker does not have to be a member of the House, and in the past, lawmakers have cast protest votes.
The Honorable Joseph Biden of the state of Delaware has received one.
The eventual winner can only afford to lose 4 GOP votes if no Democrats cross party lines. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
McCarthy unsuccessfully ran for Speaker in 2015, but was defeated by Paul Ryan. He has been a member of the Republican leadership since 2019. The Vatican estimates 65,000 people filed past the body of the Pope Benedict today as he lies in state. Before the crowds arrived, Benedict's closest aides prayed over him in a monastery at the Vatican. Benedict became Pope in 2015 and was known for his strict interpretation of Catholic Church doctrine. Despite his failures, he was the first Pope to meet the victims of sex abuse and to publicly apologize. The former pontiff died Saturday at age 95, and he'll be laid to rest Thursday. Elon Musk has lost a bigger fortune than anyone in history. The CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter is now worth $137 billion. That's according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. Musk's net worth at its peak in November of last year was $340 billion. That makes Musk the first person to lose $200 billion in wealth, Bloomberg reported last week. If Tesla's stock rebounds, Musk could once again become the world's richest person. Forget fancy dinners. More singles are opting to have more affordable first dates. A new survey funded by a number of dating platforms asked 5,000 single people about their dating expenses. 84% of singles say to save money, they now prefer a casual first date. And 35% say they are now more open to doing free activities. The high cost of dining out and changing to dating habits during the pandemic, like walks and picnics, are driving the shift. A little later, a career milestone for Carl Junction girls basketball standout.
And our thunderstorms took over our afternoon, but will they take over the night? I'll have all that information coming up next. Well, this afternoon we saw a risk for severe weather. We had a couple of severe warned storms, and now it's a lot of thunderstorms, but not as severe. Let's take a look at our Indigo Sky and Casino and Resort KOAM, right now we have some wet ground right now. That is from the precipitation we saw earlier. Now it's not fully out of our area right now. You can see it's pushing out of our viewing area. Right now, pushing off to the east, you can see Monette and Springfield are still seeing some precipitation. A couple thunder boomers here and there. But let's look at this system overall. It's a pretty broad system. You can see over by St. Louis and even regions of Memphis are seeing that heavier rainfall. But even on the other side of that, you can see we have a lot of snow over by Colorado and even further west. Kansas and even Nebraska seeing some of those snowfall totals. But on our side, we saw a lot of rainfall amounts just in this afternoon and evening. Monette and Mount Vernon as well as Springfield saw the majority of that rainfall. But also taking a look further north and west, you can see a couple of lines of those rainfall amounts across the board. Saw some pretty significant rainfall with this system. In general, we're going to see a little bit more with that, especially further east. You can see about 11 p.m. and about midnight we'll have some more precipitation that'll kind of push out of our area. By the time we get to 1 and even 2 a.m. we'll clear out as overnight, so we'll have a quiet later night. But as we head into the morning hours, commuting to work, we'll have a little bit of a cooler start to our day in the upper 40s, and that's due to our cold front. But let's look at our temperatures right now, sitting in the lower 60s. Right now, 63 for Miami as well as Grove at 65. But taking a little bit of a look at Yates Center up there at 58, as well as Iola at 58 as well. They're catching on to that cold front a little bit sooner than the rest of the viewing area, and you can see that line of cooler air right there. Wichita sitting at 41, so we'll see those cooler temperatures push into our area pretty soon here, and tomorrow we'll have those effects of that 52 and by noon, and then 5 p.m. we'll hit down to 50, a lot cooler than what we have been seeing. Now look at this 7-day right here. We're pretty seasonal for this time of year. Tuesday at 53, Wednesday at 46 for our high. Now Thursday for our high will be at 45. We'll be a little bit warmer on Friday, sitting at 54 degrees. But come Saturday, we'll have another chance for precipitation, about 20% chance. That'll be more so in the evening. That'll fade out, and then we'll have a nice start, a cool start to our Sunday.
Well, compared to what it was earlier, I think that we are doing better now. Everything's calming down, and even though we're hitting cooler temperatures, I can't complain. So.
I know. It's at least we'll take some consistency at this point.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
An invasive species was captured at Grand Lake. This big head carp was caught at the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation biologists. It weighed in at a whopping 65 pounds. The Department of Wildlife Conservation says not all carp are native to northeast Oklahoma waters. So they are labeled as an invasive species because they can upset the aquatic ecology system. Still ahead, a career milestone for a Carl Junction girls basketball player. And it's rivalry night for Pitt State and Missouri Southern. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Well, tonight is rivalry night for Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern basketball. The Lions welcome the Gorillas into Joplin tonight in their first of 2 scheduled meetings this season. On the women's side, it's a good one tonight. The Lions are 12-1 and ranked 9th in the nation. Pitt State 9-3 coming into the night. That's tight in the first quarter. Lacey Stokes off the glass. Game high 28 points tonight for Stokes. Then Tristan Gegg finds Aaron Davis for the quick release 3. Pitt State up 1 after 1. Davis scores 10 to go along with 6 assists. The Gorillas keep the pressure on. Sydney Holmes, corner 3. Holmes scores 12. Gorillas up 5 at halftime. They come out strong in the third. Harper Schreiner knocks it down from deep. 11 points, 10 rebounds for the freshman. Then it's Grace Pyle from the other side. She drops 17, going 4 for 8 from 3. Fourth quarter now. Corinna Gerber, another big game for Pitt State. 20 points, 10 rebounds. The Lions make it close, but Pittsburgh State knocks off Southern 87-79.
I just felt we were on it from the tip. We just came out high energy. We never got down. They went on their runs. They had some good buckets go in late, and I just thought we stayed together really well, and we hit some big shots down the stretch, and Obviously, I got to shout out Harper Schreiner, man. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound. She kept us in the game, that possession, and, you know, we just cover each other's backs, and I think that's what made this win so special.
For the men's game, Pitt State head coach Jeff Boschee facing his former team for the first time since leaving Southern last March. Winston Desasal dominant in the first, corner three. Then same spot, knocks down another. He scores a team-high 18 points tonight for Southern. Later, Desasal passes it off to Martin Macinas. Little reverse lay-in, Lions on a roll. They're up double digits. Now sticking around in the first, Vincent Sigmund gets himself free, lays it in. Lions up 42-28 at halftime. Sigmund scores 13. Second half, in transition, Sigmund flips it back to Avery Taggart. 11 points tonight for Taggart. Missouri Southern earns their fourth straight win, rolling by Pittsburgh State 84-63. At the Division I level, the Kansas Jayhawks are up one spot to number 3 in this week's AP National Rankings. Kansas is 12-1 this season after winning the Big 12 opener over Oklahoma State on Saturday. Missouri Tigers are in the national rankings for the first time this season, sitting at number 20 in this week's poll. Mizzou is 12-1. They've beaten 16th ranked Illinois and 19th ranked Kentucky in their last 2 games. Well, the Carl Junction girls come out of the holiday break with a 9-1 overall record, ranked number 4 in Missouri Class 5. And tonight, CJ hits the floor for the first time in 2023 on the road against McDonald County. Now, early on for the Bulldogs, Chloe Burke knocks down the corner 3. CJ leads, but this night, it's about Carl Junction's Destiny Berge. Steals here straight to the rim for 2. Finishes with the left. Then second half, 3 from the far side for Berge. Then a bit later, another from about the same spot. And this one here, it's a career milestone for Destiny Berge with that basket. She tops 2,000 career points in her high school career at Carl Junction. Pittsburgh State commit finishes the night with 25 points. History tonight for Destiny Berge. Everyone in the building knew it too. Carl Junction beats McDonald County 77-38. After that, the boys hit the floor. Carl Junction aiming to sweep the night. It was a closer game. CJ gets it done 52-43. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos 27-24 on Sunday to get to 13-3 overall this season. And for the Chiefs, it's their 15th consecutive win over Denver. In that game last night, quarterback Patrick Mahomes racked up 328 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Also topped 5,000 passing yards on the season. But story of the night was running back Jerick McKinnon. He had 52 receiving yards, also had a pair of receiving touchdowns, giving him 8 total touchdowns in the last 5 games.
It's just a blessing, first of all. But, you know, I couldn't have done any of that without my teammates. You know, O-line, man, they're blocking on a whole nother level right now. Pat on a whole nother level right now. Passed for 5,000 tonight, so that's another achievement for him. And then, you know, the guys on the perimeter, man. When you got guys who complement each other like that, you know, you got Kelsey, Juju, MVS, you know, all those guys, Sky, you know, it makes it easy. So, you know, Patch is, you know, he's making his choice right now.
The Chiefs are scheduled to wrap up the regular season this weekend against the Raiders. The game was scheduled for Sunday, but the NFL has flexed that game to Saturday with kickoff at 3:30 p.m. Former Pittsburgh State offensive lineman Zach Thomas has a new home. Thomas has been drafted by the Seattle Sea Dragons with the 75th overall pick in the XFL supplemental draft. Now, Thomas was a captain and also a 2-time All-MIAA selection for the Gorillas, playing in Pittsburgh from 2016 to 2020. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
We take this time now to honor a local veteran. Brian Ray served in the U.S. Army from 1998 to 2006. The Neosho, Missouri native was stationed in Iraq. We are proud to salute Brian Ray, a 4-state hero. A rare exotic bird out of its elements has bird lovers flocking to catch a glimpse. But how did it get there? Jeremy Roth has today. Take a look at this.
An exotic and rare Arctic bird made an even rarer appearance in Southern California, essentially taking over a neighborhood. Bird lovers flocked and gawked to catch a glimpse of this gorgeous snowy owl, which locals say has been spotted on multiple rooftops in Cyprus.
It's so exciting. I see a bird that does not belong here.
I consider it an honor to be able to see the bird and just something I can kind of put a feather in my cap.
Bird puns, huh? Well, two can play at that game. I quack myself up. Anyway, to say this bird is out of its element would be an understatement. Snowy owls are native to Arctic regions, making this fascinating creature's cameo in SoCal so weird. One area veterinarian says he's never heard of a snowy owl in the region. Other locals are calling the sighting a once-in-a-lifetime event. Speaking of rarities, in case you missed it, one lucky bidder did not miss out on this piece of golden era Hollywood history. The ornate, handcrafted hourglass used in The Wizard of Oz just sold at auction. No word on who bought it, but we know what they paid, a staggering $495,000. Alrighty, check my notes here. Yeah, it's been almost a week since I've done a cute baby hippo story, so here we go. A Virginia zoo just welcomed a precious and rare pygmy hippo. The newborn calf is an endangered species, making the birth as significant as it is so cute. Hey, maybe we should just call the segment Take a Look at Another Baby Hippo. For Take a Look at Another Baby Hippo, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And also take a look at this. Freeman Health System announced its first baby of the new year. Meet Dustin Ray. Doctors say Dustin was born at 11:19 a.m. yesterday. He weighed 8 pounds, 7.7 ounces, and measured 21.3 inches. He is the 8th child of Laura and David Breaker of Jasper, Missouri.
Oh, they're so precious. Yes.
All right, what's our weather look like?
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing some pretty seasonal temperatures for the most part, hanging around in the upper 40s to lower 50s for your highs pretty much across the board for the next 10 days or so. And then for our lows, we're going to be pretty below freezing for the next 5 days or so. So pretty chilly for the most part.
I told you big win tonight for the Missouri Southern men, 84-63 over Pittsburg State. It's their 4th straight win. We're going to have post-game reaction from the Lions and from that win right here tomorrow night.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for making us a part of your night.